What's good, YouTube? I appreciate you for spending your time right here, right now.
I woke up in the morning and I say I need one of those. They got me trying all their clothes. They got me trying all their clothes. I swear to God, I never wear a dress.
Now guys, the very first thing women notice in men and find attractive, but you don't, is intelligence. Now guys, hear me out. When I say intelligence, I'm not talking about the guy who's just in crazy isolation, like doesn't even communicate with the outside world. He's just so focused on learning. I'm talking about the type of intelligence these guys end up creating inventions in the world, etc. I'm not talking about that type of intelligence. To be fair, I'd actually say most women will actually find that type of intelligence unattractive. Most women nowadays, at least modern day women. I'm talking about intelligence to where you're smart, but you're still aware of social cues. You still have social awareness. You still know how to operate in a social circle. I'm not talking about intelligence to where you can't really socialize, you can't really be in social settings because you end up being weird or coming across weird, and you just have a hard time in an environment to where you have to socialize. So I'm talking about intelligence to where you still know how to deal with women, deal with people, and still know how to be a guy who is not necessarily socially accepted, but you know how to carry yourself in social settings. It's not about being socially accepted necessarily, but you know how to carry yourself in social settings. So women find this type of man attractive, but most men don't really know that, and they don't really know that women notice that in them. But guys, that's the very first thing right there. Women notice a man who is groomed and they find it attractive. Even if you don't, women notice a man who is groomed. And when I say groomed, just having upkeep, taking care of yourself, you know, not going too long without making sure you're looking all right, you're looking straight, right? Obviously you can have times where you're just grinding, you're doing your thing, so you're not really focused on that, but not letting it go too far. Women like a man who is groomed. So many guys don't really think that's important. I'm not talking about just a haircut, I'm talking about everything, even down to a skincare routine. Now guys, to make sure that I'm groomed, I make sure to use Teach Henley. Now guys, Teach Henley is one of the leading skincare brands for men, and it's one of the leading skincare brands for men for a reason. Teach Henley is simple to use, like I'm about to show you, and it's very efficient. You get a face wash, AM and a PM moisturizer, serum, exfoliating scrub, and last but not least, eye cream. When you do order your first box, you will get 40% off and then 20% off for life. You'll also get the option of a free gift, which is a scrubber. Now guys, as you can see, when you order your box, you're going to get quite a lot in there, and it's also pretty simple to use because you've got the instructions right here. You got the instructions for the morning, the night, even the usage amounts. This really is a simple guide to grooming and skincare for men. Link will be in the description and the pinned comment down below. So guys, that's why it's important to take care of yourself, because women like a man who is groomed. And women like a man who is groomed because it shows that you care about yourself. Many times men get with women and they often neglect themselves, thinking, okay, I've got her, it's cool. So don't do that, it's not attractive. Shoes you're wearing. Now guys, that may sound superficial right there, and it probably is. Now, in this video and with my videos on this channel, I'm just being objective. I'm staying in objective reality. I'm not saying this is good, this is bad, this is how it should be, this is how it shouldn't be. I'm just simply stating how it is. One of the first things women notice in men is the shoes that they're wearing, because the shoes that you're wearing can say a lot about you as a guy. And I do know that some of you may feel that your shoes don't say everything about you as a man. Of course, they don't say everything about you, but you know, your upkeep, etc., it can demonstrate those things. It can also demonstrate how you're doing financially. Now, there's plenty of guys who are doing well financially who don't really care about their shoes, but generally, women look at shoes as a social status, in a sense, to where if you're not necessarily wearing the latest sneakers, but if your sneakers are like dirty, you're not taking care of yourself, of course they're going to look at you some way. So guys, don't complain about it. It just is what it is. I'm not saying it's good, it's bad. Obviously you shouldn't be judging people, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but we're dealing with women here, guys. They're definitely going to judge you by their cover, so just be aware of it. And now, if you are doing your thing with the shoes, then that's already going to be a plus for you. That goes a long way, and I think a lot of men underestimate just how long of a way it can go in terms of them being able to move forward to the next stage of dealing with this woman. It can say a lot, it can get you to that next stage, but if you come there and she's looking down at your feet and it's already like a no-go, a lot of times you're not even going to get to that next stage. It is what it is. Call it superficial, but I'm just here to give you the objective things women notice in men and find attractive, but you don't. On to the next point. Now guys, the next thing women notice in men and find attractive, but you don't, is nails. Now, why do women find nails attractive in a man if he's taking care of himself? It shows hygiene. One thing I've gathered from listening to women, dealing with women, the biggest problem that they have with men in general is hygiene. A lot of guys don't really take hygiene serious, or they just think it's feminine, so they don't want to be feminine. So they have this idea of being masculine. I shouldn't take care of my nails. That's absolutely crazy. You should definitely take care of your nails, because having dirt up under your nails and not taking care of them, it can say a lot about you once again in terms of the hygiene department. And a woman, she's not really going to be thinking of getting down and dirty with you unless she just has nothing to lose if you're not taking care of yourself in terms of hygiene. So guys, women do look at your nails, they do look at stuff like that, so it is important to have upkeep in those departments. Hygiene is important, and not just for women. Like, come on now, isn't hygiene good for you? Like, not just for getting women, isn't hygiene good for yourself? I mean, look at the stuff that's going on in the world. We definitely need to be taking care of our hygiene as a collective. So definitely be taking care of hygiene for yourself, and also be taking care of hygiene because it's important if you want to attract women. You're not just gonna attract women with dirty nails, you know, unless you're just like crazy Chad or Tyrone, and even then, you just might just hit it one time. You're not gonna hit it consistently with dirt up under your nails and not having a good upkeep. So guys, that's the third thing that women notice in men and find attractive, but you don't. Now guys, with this fourth thing that women notice in men and find attractive, but you don't, with this fourth thing, I was in two state of mind. I was thinking of naming the fourth thing rebellion or assertiveness, and I'm gonna go with assertiveness because at first I thought of rebellion, but I don't necessarily think this is rebellion. I think this is being assertive. When a woman is telling you what to do and you just blindly follow, like she can tell you what to do to jump, you're gonna jump, you know, fly, you're gonna fly, you know, anything. If she tells you to do that and you go ahead and do it, that's gonna be a big red flag for her, and it's gonna be a huge loss in terms of the attraction department for you as a man. Women like a guy who's assertive, who can put his foot down and not always just be unnecessary, because some of you guys may hear put his foot down and you're already thinking of the whole, you know, alpha man, don't listen to a woman, I just go my own way. I'm not saying just be an arsehole. When I say put his foot down, I'm saying on things that you truly stand on. You're not just a guy who can just go this way, that way, this way, that way because she tells you to. You actually have some sort of code of ethics and stuff you believe in that you can stand on. Women might not be the happiest with that, but they respect those type of men. But if you're just a guy who a woman can say anything to, and you're gonna move left, right, up and down, like I said, fly, even though I don't know how you're gonna fly, but fly. If you're a guy who a woman can make do those things and you don't challenge nothing, you don't even have a point of view really, you just go with what she says, that's going to be a huge loss once again in the attraction department. So guys, always make sure to be assertive, because you might not think this is important, right? You might be someone who thinks looks are the most important. You might be someone who thinks riz and all that type of stuff is the most important. But guys, simply being assertive can get you a long way with women. Now guys, the next thing that women notice in men and find attractive, but you don't, is your posture. Now, your posture in a social setting can say a lot about you as a guy. So whether you're in the gym, you know, you've just gotten 8 reps, 6 reps, 7 reps, however you train, you've just got your reps in, you're walking back and forth, you're just walking around with bad posture, you're not really walking around with your shoulders rolled back and with assertiveness. Even if you are walking back and forth, if you're not walking back and forth looking like you're on a mission, a lot of the times not having the correct posture can get you a lot of losses in the attraction department. Now, having a good posture can say a lot about how you feel about yourself as a guy, and often women bounce off of a guy's energy. Now, what do I mean by this? As much as women try to portray that they're these boss babes, confident, no one can tell them nothing, One thing I will say, guys, is that women aren't the most confident. They just push that stuff out into the media, but a lot of times they're not the most confident. So a guy being confident, they can live through him essentially, and they can get their confidence as well through that guy. So if you're already nervous and intimidated when walking up to a woman, dealing with a woman, you know, your shoulders are, you're slouching, a woman is not going to find that attractive whatsoever. And she already has her insecurities, even if she's not consciously aware of them and she doesn't want to admit them. Everyone has their insecurities, but women often like to deny that they don't have that, act like they don't have their insecurities. So if you're a guy who's coming up to her and you have no confidence whatsoever, you have no posture, your posture's not demonstrating that you have confidence, you're not going to go a long way with this woman. Now, guys, leading right off of that point, the next thing women notice in men and find attractive but you don't is confidence. Now, guys, often when guys take in this type of content when it comes to dating and they hear the word confidence, they often have the whole alpha male mindset, you know, just walk in and just be dominant and all the above. But you've got to realize confidence is not just that. That's definitely a part of it, but confidence is not just that. It's not just walking in and being dominant, etc. Confidence is being confident in who you are. So that could be anything. Whether you're into gaming, reading books, finance, sports. Confidence is being confident. Confidence is being okay with who you are and not trying to jump in other people's lanes. Confidence is being able to stay in your lane and say, hey, this is what I do, these are my interests, this is me. Because a lot of guys, they'll have their interests, and I'm not just talking about like just doing some other stuff and you're just not maturing, you're just wanting to be stuck in your ways. I'm not talking about that type of stuff. I'm talking about generally having passions and interests. And then a woman will come in their life and she'll make him change. He'll go ahead and change, and then she'll break up with him after he changes. It's like she doesn't find that attractive. She doesn't find the fact that she can come in your life and tell you, hey, do this, do that. You're not really fighting for the things you believe in. You're not confident in your abilities, what you can do, your passions, your beliefs. You're not confident in it. She's not going to find that attractive. She just told you to do this and change your whole trajectory of where you was going in life. And you think you're still going to stay with her? Come on now, you've got to do better. Guys, I appreciate you for watching this video. Wherever you did watch this video, have a blessed day, and I'm out.